Hi there, it's Beth, and we are talking the lovers today. So, big sigh. I have picked the main one for the Thoth. I also picked, wanted to pull this one up because there's an older aspect that comes out with this, the Mythic Tarot deck. So, the lovers tends to be my least favorite card. Often the depictions just are lacking, in my opinion, which is part of the reason why I picked the Thoth Curly Harris deck. It's one of the ones I more enjoy, and it has the symbolism, because really my favorite one is probably from the Wheel of Fortune Tarot. So far only Major Arcana. I don't think they're done with the minors, to the best of my knowledge. I love their lovers. It's beautiful. It's two women. It's just a beautiful card. And a lot of times I just don't like it. I don't like the pictures more often than not. It just is what it is. So I picked the Thoth Curly Harris one for this because I do like this card. And part of the reason I do like it is it's layered. There's a lot going on in here. When you start looking at it and you read Book of Thoth by Crowley and what's his bucket? What's that book called? It's right here. This one is also really good. He kind of takes out all the Victorian lingo from the Thoth. Book of Thoth by Crowley. Both are good. Both are different. So you have a lot going on here. And this is a card ruled by Gemini. Not ruled by Gemini, representing Gemini, ruled by Mercury. So you have this kind of mercurial aspect, the duality of the lovers. And you got, this one has so many different layers in it, which is part of the reason why I love this deck, is the layers of meaning that happen in it. But so basically what you're looking at, keywords for the lovers: union, divine transfer, a chemical wedding, choices. Union and choices are really two of the things I really dig into with the lovers for me. It's also about transformation, that alchemical wedding of soul kind of stuff. When you start looking back at older texts, things like that. There is a huge choice aspect to this too for me, and we'll get to that in a second with the other lovers card. So this is basically brain cramp, looking into the soul. You're looking inwards. This is not, often people, it's like lovers. People think, oh, love. I'm going to get a lover. I'm going to get my soulmate. Cringe. Soulmate's a whole nother video. So, you're looking at this aspect of your soul, of the union of you and deity, of you and the divine, of you and something greater than yourself. Not a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever you have. It's not that. And the depictions of the lovers often make it feel that it is quite literally lovers, of that romantic sexual relationship aspect of it. But it goes far beyond that, and it just, the depictions are often lacking, and that's why I chose this one. Opposites and choices. And when it's not doing well, you're feeling separate from things. You're not feeling connected. You're not tapped into spirit. You might not be tapped into community. So, so before I move into the other one, which has kind of the older aspect of it. So some of the things we see: bride, groom, man, woman. Sometimes angels, Cupid. Sometimes you see peace. It really just depends on the card you're looking at. And sometimes it's just two people, one man and one woman, apparently male and apparently woman. Whereas this one, you have a lot more going on. So you got a priest, you got the two people in the Achillea wedding, you've got Cain and Abel, you got Lilith and Eve, and you got a cherubim on here, and you got the snake and the egg. There's Cupid up here. Eros also being, you know, and don't think I'm like dissing on sexuality or in relationships and stuff like that, because it can have that potential, but most of the time it's not quite that. It's like death is not, you're not gonna die, more likely than not. The Empress, you're not gonna get pregnant, more likely than not. I find it's a much more complicated card than images make it out to be, and that's one of the things that really bothers me with this card. So the symbolism is usually pretty straightforward, I feel, unless you're using the thought, and then you've got a lot of layers. It's just not my favorite card. So I have the star spinner here. Let's just put on another. So I have the star spinner out because I was doing the cosmic shadow forecast reading. If you want to pick up that subscription, you can always pop down to links below. So this one has 4 different lovers card, which I love. And I have one, the blue one. So here's kind of a basic portrayal of the lovers. This is 2 guys though. So, you know, you have that love aspect there in a sexual manner. And the thing I like about this too is like you have some that aren't, you know, like so sexual. And I really like that one. I have the blue one in the deck. There's another one that's kind of similar to this, but with a blue. And see this background here, they're all very different. You got the Cupid. They're all different. That's really cool. And these are not, actually just realizing this, not just plugins of different bodies. They are different cards. So cool on that one. So you're looking, yeah, really, this one has, oops, wrong one. It has some of the more traditional aspect to it. So you tend to see, you know, a couple people hugging, kissing kind of thing in the lovers, which makes it feel like relationships, romantic, sexual aspects. And that's not really what it's about. And I find that's kind of lacking in the Rider-Waite-Smith type decks on that. So, but so let's get to, yeah, I feel like I'm really kind of disjointed in the lovers. And I think it's partly my dislike of most of these symbols, of the portrayals of it. And that, you know, this card is a deep card. To pull it apart fully is like a lot of work. To dive into that real meaning of, what was it? You know, Salve and Caligula. I can't talk, not to Caligula. Salve. I cannot say the word today. Coagula. There, I did it. Coagula is kind of like ours, the arts, the skills of it coming together. And salve, the solutions, bring about a union, the divine, looking into the soul, opposite choices. Look at it that way. Go a step beyond what's probably on your card. So let's get to the lovers in the older aspect. And I think this is part of the reason why choice for me comes in so hard, because this is the Mythic Tarot and it was my first deck. So I didn't have this kind of Rider-Waite-Smith-esque 2 people in love, romantic relationship aspect when I learned Tarot. I had this. So the impossible choice, the lovers being the impossible choice in a way. Because Paris is standing there with a golden apple, which says Callisti, to the most beautiful, given to him by the goddess Eris of discord. All hail Eris. So you're dealing with this aspect of like, you got Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera standing there. Go ahead. You can give me the apple. I'm the most beautiful. So you pick one goddess, you're pissing off two goddesses. What choice you gonna make? Which one are you gonna make? You can go for wisdom, love, stability with a home with Hera. What are you gonna pick? Paris picked Aphrodite, who united him with Helen of Troy and started a whole freaking war. Hello, Callisti. So this is what I started out with, was this Lovers. And I think that's part of the reason too that I opt in so heavily for choices. Choices are very big. And then the next, going into that whole union aspect of the Lovers card. The symbology just kind of is usually really boring. So yeah, the impossible choice. Which goddess would you give it to? Which two would you make angry? Because frankly, all three of them pissed off. And any of those ladies mad at you is not going to be pretty. They're all very vengeful when it comes down to it, to being disdained, not getting their way, scorned. So yeah. This is the one I started out with. So choices definitely for me come in big. And this was, after this one, the next Lovers card that I really connected with. So, these were like the two first lovers that I was like, ugh. I felt like they had some meat to them. There's the Sacred Rose, Tarot, and Morgan Greer were also acquired sometime around the early 90s when I picked up the Thoth. And it wasn't until I got this one that I had another Lovers that I was like, ooh, this says something to me. This has more meaning. It's not just Lover's Light of making it appear to be more of a romantic thing. And when you start getting into the pop culture aspect and Tarot becoming more popular, because this was very fringe when I started. You were a little weird if you did any form of divination other than maybe astrology. The others were kind of just there. Never really spoke to me. They might be a pretty card. The Morgan Greer has a very nice depiction of a man and a woman. But what does it say to me? Not a lot, where these two really have always spoke to me. How those choices, the impossible choice, and then that whole kind of alchemist aspect that comes in with the Thoth, Crowley Harris deck, of the alchemical wedding and the union of soul and the divine and all that kind of stuff. So these two cards have kind of combined in the meaning of my main Lovers, of how I interpret it and read over the years. So yeah. There's a cat. Oh, there's a Phyllis. Not a cat.
Are you in a place?
Be quiet. Now I cut things out. All right, everyone go out there and have a wonderful day and be the love in the world. Bye-bye.